Every breath connects us to the ground. Oh. Well, I was upstairs working on some things and sending notes to my sound school folks and to some other folks about tomorrow. And then I thought, well, why don't I share it with all of us and we can chant together? I am not such an astrologer, but one thing I do know and that I experience is on eclipse days, if there's a pattern that you want to shift, if there's something that you don't want to do because you've been doing it, like, for example, if you don't want to eat a lot of sugar, on the day of the eclipse, don't eat sugar. And keep dropping into who you are behind any cravings, behind any old thought patterns. Drop in deeper. And on the eclipse day, somehow it's like a reset. And it's much easier to let go of those old patterns. If you can meditate or at least pray or put your mind on the highest vibrations, on what you intend, and leave behind any thoughts that get in the way that are not what you want to keep, running, the energy that you want to run. Chant a mantra or sing a song in its place, or go to great silence. Last night I dreamed that I was trying to find the deepest elevator in the world, the one that went deepest down into the earth. My guru wanted it. So tomorrow morning, let's drop deep. And I thought in preparation, we can chant a bit now. Those of you who know this, chant along. It's an invocation to that aspect of the one which has so many different names associated with the root chakra, Muladhara chakra, the energy center. You can allow yourself to move from the base. Let every inhale connect us to the ground. The exhale sends us up. Thanks and praise to this life force that pours up through the first chakra, the second below the navel, that third chakra, and then Manipur chakra, city of jewels that lets us digest life experience, to have willpower, personal power. Oh, Ma Shakti into the heart, lets us give and receive love, devotion. Into the throat, inspired speech and sound and listening. Thank you, thank you. May we speak as love speaks. May we hear as love hears. Smile into your throat. Into the third eye chakra, Ajna chakra. Clairvoyance, clear seeing, divine reality. Into our crown. This place of grace. Imagine yourself in a shower of grace. You could even put your hand over your head like my Guruji Shastraji, Swasti, Swasti. Just feel the shower of blessings. You are so loved. And no one's converting anybody, of course, but these are just some ways to calm the mind and nervous system and connect with that which is bigger, so much bigger than our small identity. Shri Vakratuṇda Mahakaya. Maha, great body. Surya Koti Samaprabha, bright as a million suns. Nirvighanam Kurume Deva Sarvakaryeshu Sarvada. actions be free of apparent obstacles. All of our actions. How is that possible? Well, only if I remember who is the doer beyond my small self. It's like if I'm the caboose at the end of the train saying, look what I did. Sarva karyeshu sarvada. And how audacious. Always, always may we be free of obstacles. It's like, may our consciousness abide as the self. May we remember who is the doer. In this case, finally, it's an awakening mantra. Sarva karyeshu sarvada. And Jupiter is the star of the teacher, of the guru, of that which takes us from darkness to light, the darkness of ignorance to the light of wisdom, the darkness of fear to the light of love. And don't we know there's so much, it's almost like there's an addiction to fearful things, huh? We look at the news. Of course, there's a lot of challenging news happening even in our lives. But there's also so much good. So I feel like to balance out the onslaught of this person said this thing, or we hear so much of this, like this news, and meanwhile, somebody did this very kind thing. I saw the most beautiful meme of this person who went to the hospital for COVID, and someone else realized they had a dog upstairs, so the dog had access to the porch. This is in an apartment building, and they're holding up the hand of dog food every single day, twice a day, and dog water to feed the dog because it seemed like maybe someone had forgotten. Like all these acts of kindness, inspired by the source of light. That's just one small one. My friends, can you think of something, some act of kindness, some act of wisdom, some way that the inner guide, the inner source of light has guided you to know just how to say the right thing? I remember I received a smile once that just changed everything for me. Maybe you've given a smile like that and didn't even know it, So in gratitude for all of our teachers, and for that which lets us grow, just like the light of the sun helps the trees and plants grow tall, for that which grows us in consciousness. Looking back how you were 5 years ago, 10 years ago, last week, darling, how we've grown. So chant along if you like, or just hum or om or reflect. You could whisper the names of your teachers that you love, even those inadvertent ones, the ones who didn't know they were teachers. Vagi Shastriji, Sanyaji, Swami Shivananda, our parents. Gurur Brahma, Gurur Vishnu, Gurur Devo Maheshwara. In the initiating and the sustaining and the releasing that light of wisdom, often in the form of our teachers, but ever present guides. Guru Sakshat Param Brahma, absolutely one with the absolute. Tasmai Shri Gurave Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And one example is I lived in a Tibetan Buddhist monastery, Kopangompa. I've told this story, but it's coming because I'm trying to raise money for homeless right now through some things I'm selling. You can see a post on my Facebook page. But at one point, at the time, I was giving away lots of things. I mean, not lots of things, lots of money. I'd been living in Japan. And I was feeling like, oh, these poor people are so fortunate. I said it to the Rinpoche walking with me, the teacher. Oh, they're very fortunate because I've come from Japan and I have money to give and I feel so fortunate and they're so fortunate. And he said, no, 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 no. You are mostly fortunate because you get a chance to practice generosity and compassion. Oh, this is the light of wisdom. I'm going to share a little bit stronger mantra now. It's called the Mahāmrtyunjaya mantra. It's kind of fun to say. If you like, you can say it after me. Maha, like Taj Mahal, Mahatma Gandhi. Maha, great. Mrt, sounds like it, doesn't it? Mrt is this, like death. Identification with that which dies. Mrtyunjaya, Jaya is victory. So this mantra is a mantra that takes our consciousness from identification with that which dies to the realization of our true immortal nature. Isn't that amazing? It's also a really good mantra to chant when people are passing or have passed. And it talks about the ever-increasing fragrance of the divine. That, and you know, a fragrance can just permeate like the scent of a rose. And that it's ever-increasing and increases our spiritual. That fragrance symbolizes our spiritual awareness. So I think most of us know we're spiritual beings having a human experience. But throughout our day, we might forget, which is helpful because we're busy, you know, doing things that require our neocortex, learned brain. But meanwhile, you're more than that. My father passed away August 25th, and the doctors were amazed because he kept thanking. He came out of some states and thanked the nurses, but when they did a CAT scan, and like Clay, you would understand this, they said like a third of his brain was like, a direct quote was applesauce. And they were like, how was he, how he was functioning? But his soul was bright. His soul got brighter and brighter, actually, as he aged, even though his mind declined. It doesn't have to be that way. So anyway, I'm going to chant this chant with you. Victory over identification with the small self. Victory over identification with that which dies. O eternal souls, even when you go through the darkness of the birth canal, what's coming next? When my friend Jeff Johns, some of you know him, when he passed away, his wife gave him a big kiss on the lips the night he was dying and said, don't worry, baby. Don't worry, it's just labor. How beautiful is that? So may we remember our true immortal nature, and may tomorrow's eclipse be extremely bountiful for you. Paul or Joey, if you can put the mantra words in the chat, but mainly I'm going to chant it, and then every once in a while it's going to come into, let's see, I'm going to chant it Vedic style, and then I'll bring it into a reggae chant that came through me. But you could just chant Om Namah Shivaya. Om Namah Shivaya. Adi Guru, that illuminator, the first yogi, the one who gives us practices. I have on my altar a picture of Jesus as yogi. We have these practices that liberate our consciousness. Thank you, thank you. Om Namah Shivaya. Om Namah Shivaya. Om Namah Shivaya. Om Namah Shivaya. If you prefer, you can say Om Namah Yeshua, which is Jesus, or any name that you like, as I chant the Mahāmrtyunjaya mantra, or join me on if you know it. In Sound School, we learn it very much in depth, and you're welcome to join me. I'm excited to start the next Sound School in January. This is a potent mantra. Used to have to be born a Brahmin male unless it's tantric style. Om TryAmbakam Yajaamahe Sugandhim Pushti-Vardhanam Urvaarukamiva Bandhanaan Mrtyor-Mukssiiya Maamrtaat. If you like, you can imagine a great fire in a circle, and you can just place in the fire your offerings, anything you'd offer up to be transformed. So you could say, Swaha, Swaha, after each one if you like. Om TryAmbakam Yajaamahe Sugandhim Pushti-Vardhanam Urvaarukamiva Bandhanaan Mrtyor-Mukssiiya Maamrtaat. Swaha. Om TryAmbakam Yajaamahe Sugandhim Pushti-Vardhanam Urvaarukamiva Bandhanaan Mrtyor-Mukssiiya Maamrtaat. Swaha. Om TryAmbakam Yajaamahe Sugandhim Pushti-Vardhanam Urvaarukamiva Bandhanaan Mrtyor-Mukssiiya Maamrtaat. Swaha. Amrit, the bliss of realization of our immortal nature. Om TryAmbakam Yajaamahe Sugandhim Pushti-Vardhanam Urvaarukamiva Bandhanaan Mrtyor-Mukssiiya Maamrtaat. Swaha. Om TryAmbakam Yajaamahe Sugandhim Pushti-Vardhanam Urvaarukamiva Bandhanaan Mrtyor-Mukssiiya Maamrtaat. Swaha. Om TryAmbakam Yajaamahe Sugandhim Pushti-Vardhanam Urvaarukamiva Bandhanaan Mrtyor-Mukssiiya Maamrtaat. Swaha. Freedom from the fear of death. Blessings to all. Om TryAmbakam Yajaamahe Sugandhim Pushti-Vardhanam Urvaarukamiva Bandhanaan Mrtyor-Mukssiiya Maamrtaat. Swaha. Pure liberation. Om TryAmbakam Yajaamahe Sugandhim Pushti-Vardhanam Urvaarukamiva Bandhanaan Mrtyor-Mukssiiya Maamrtaat. Swaha. Om TryAmbakam Yajaamahe Sugandhim Pushti-Vardhanam Urvaarukamiva Bandhanaan Mrtyor-Mukssiiya Maamrtaat. Swaha. Om TryAmbakam Yajaamahe Sugandhim Pushti-Vardhanam Urvaarukamiva Bandhanaan Mrtyor-Mukssiiya Maamrtaat. Swaha. Om TryAmbakam Yajaamahe Sugandhim Pushti-Vardhanam Urvaarukamiva Bandhanaan Mrtyor-Mukssiiya Maamrtaat. Swaha. Sugandhim Pushti-Vardhanam Urvaarukamiva Bandhanaan Mrtyor-Mukessiiya Maamrtaat Svaha Om TryAmbakam Yajaamahe Sugandhim Pushti-Vardhanam Urvaarukamiva Bandhanaan Mrtyor-Mukessiiya Maamrtaat Svaha Om Jung Saha Om Namah Shivaya Om TryAmbakam Yajaamahe Sugandhim Pushti-Vardhanam Urvaarukamiva Bandhanaan Mrtyor-Mukessiiya Maamrtaat Om Namah Shivaya, everyone. Om Namah Shivaya. Om Namah Shivaya. Namah Shivaya. Om TryAmbakam Yajaamahe Sugandhim Pushti-Vardhanam Urvaarukamiva Bandhanaan Mrtyor-Mukessiiya Maamrtaat Om Namah Shivaya. Om Namah Shivaya. Namah Shivaya. Be free. Mantra of freedom. Namah Shivaya. Om Namah Shivaya. Om Namah Shivaya. Namah Shivaya. Namah Shivaya. Om TryAmbakam Yajaamahe Sugandhim Pushti-Vardhanam Urvaarukamiva Bandhanaan Mrtyor-Mukessiiya Maamrtaat Namah Shivaya. Namah Shivaya. Oh Namah Shivaya. Namah Shivaya. Namah Shivaya. Om Namah Shivaya. Namah Shivaya. Namah Shivaya. Om Namah Shivaya. One more. Om TryAmbakam Yajaamahe Sugandhim Pushti-Vardhanam Urvaarukamiva Bandhanaan Mrtyor-Mukessiiya Maamrtaat Namah Shivaya. Om Namah Shivaya. Namah Shivaya. Om Namah Shivaya. Namah Shivaya. Namah Shivaya. Om Namah Shivaya. Om Namah Shivaya. Namah Shivaya. Om Namah Shivaya. Three more Vedic style. If you like, just chant Om or just meditate a bit, rest your mind. Om TryAmbakam Yajaamahe Sugandhim Pushti-Vardhanam Urvaarukamiva Bandhanaan Svaha. Om TryAmbakam Yajaamahe Sugandhim Pushti-Vardhanam Urvaarukamiva Bandhanaan Mrtyor-Mukssiiya Maamrtaat Svaha. Om TryAmbakam Yajaamahe Sugandhim Pushti-Vardhanam Urvaarukamiva Bandhanaan Mrtyor-Mukssiiya Maamrtaat Svaha. Om Namah Shivaya. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Thank you everyone so much for practicing with me tonight. Just notice inside. Please smile to your heart that can feel compassion, that feels so much. You can put your hands there. I love you, heart. I love you. Seeing ourselves with that witness consciousness, with a vibration of love, seeing yourself as love sees. I love you, heart. Yeah. Everything you feel is welcome. Everything that arises in this loving awareness. Ram Dass, towards the end of his life, I was with him not that much before, one of the times, and he was just, I am loving awareness. I remember singing for his retreat that was supposed to be on death and immortality, and he was in the ICU right before it. We weren't sure if that was his big joke to us, but he did stay longer. But he was in that state also. You can feel it even now. I am loving awareness. Like when you're asleep and someone's petting you awake. Let that voice of love. Yes, I love you. And see your heart smile back as you smile it. Yes, welcome. And imagine that you're blessing all the other hearts that are here with us tonight and beyond. Welcome, you sweetheart. Welcome. Yokoso kokoro o. That's in Japanese, Nihongo. And then also smiling to your mind. Notice if you feel any vibrations. For me, I actually, after this call, I just want to sit and sink in with that silent Vedic mantra, japa. But notice any spaciousness if you like. Any energy in this mind place. And you could even make like 3 lines. Imagine like, whew, whew, past has no power over me. This is now. Whew, I have an inner light guiding me. Whew, and all these practices. And smiling to your mind. I love you, mind. Loving awareness of your mind, just as it is. This mind, which is an instrument of perception, just like the eyes and ears, an instrument. And then looking back, like you're in a movie theater, looking back, you've been watching the screen, and we look back at the projector. And you see all this light that's come onto the screen. Look at the source of all of this. Imagine you can look the other direction. Who is aware of all of this? Who is aware? Don't necessarily need an answer. But the question draws us deep, as my dear Guruji, Papaji, Punjaji used to say, from Ramana Maharshi. Who is asking? Who is looking? Mm-hmm.